21. At what rate per annum, okay, will 1,600 naira give 400 naira as a simple interest in 2 years? Okay? So let's look at that. So that is a simple interest question. You can also go back to what we did here in this class on simple interest. We did simple interest, we did compound interest. Okay, we know we did how to get compound interest from simple interest and all that. All right, so let's look at simple interest now. So they're asking us a question of rate, right? Okay, so they're asking in 21, at what rate per annum will 1,600 naira give 400 naira as a simple interest? It means that in simple interest is equal to principal times rate times time all over 100. Is that correct? That is correct. So the question you ask yourself in the question you are asked, what is the rate? What is the interest? What is this and what is that? Remember what they asked is rate. So we are looking for R. So they gave us simple interest, they gave us rate, they gave us time and all that. So they say, at what rate will 1,600 naira give 400 as interest? It means that the principal is what? 1,600 naira, while the interest is 400 naira. So in place of simple interest, we have 400 naira given, right? In place of principal from the question, they say, at what rate will 1,600 naira? So 1,600 naira is our principal times rate times, the time given is 2 years. You can see it there, right? Then divided by 100. Is that okay? So here, this can remove this can remove this, all right? So we have 400 is equal to 16 times R is 16R times 2 is 32R. So this is 32 rate. Is that okay now? So we can divide both sides. So this 32R rate is equal to 400. So I just interchanged, okay? It's still the same thing. So we divide both sides by 32. I'll divide both sides by 32. I believe we are right? Okay. This 16 times this 32. All right, so let's go. So this removes this. So rate will now be equal to 400 divided by 32. So we do this, do that, but for the sake of time, you know how to do those things. Just simplify this. 2 here is 16. 2 here is 200. We go again. 2 here is 8. 2 here, it is 200 now. 2 here is 100. Okay. 2 here is 4. 2 here is about 50, right? So in 50 now, 2 here is 2. 2 here is 25. So we have 25 all over 2, which will give us about 12.5%. Okay? All right. So you know how to do this thing. So just for us to apply some speed, we may be using the calculator to quickly get this. All right. So 12.5 is option E. So we move to the next one. A trader borrows 200,000 at a compound interest of 3% per annum. Okay. Now the question is, how much does he pay after 2 years? All right. So let's look at that. Okay. So that is compound interest. 22. So the amount he will pay, we have the formula for that. Amount is equals to 1 plus R over 100 raised to power the number of years. All right. Okay. You can go back to our topic on compound interest. You will see all this. So the question is, they're asking of what to pay, the amount. The rate, the principal of this guy, a trader borrows 200,000. So in place of this, we are putting 200K. All right, plus 1 plus 1 plus rate. They say at a compound interest of 3%. So the rate is 3 over 100. Right? Are you with me now? Then they are asking how much does he pay after 2 years. So the number of years for this particular money that was borrowed is 2 years time. So raised to power 2. Is that okay now? So this will now mean, so everything in this bracket must be solved first, okay? So what we have there is 200, all right, into 1 over 1 plus 3 over 100, all right? So this will be 100 now. This will be 1 times 3, which is 3, plus, here is 100 times 1 is 100, okay? All raised to power 2. Is that okay now? So we move to this side of the board. Okay, so we have 200,000 into, okay, 100 plus 3 is 103, 103 over 100, all raised to power 2 rather, all raised to power 2. Is that okay now? So simply, you can 103 divided by 100. 103 divided by 100. Okay? So this will give us 103 divided by 100 will give us 1.03. So we are having 200,000 into 1.03. All right, how we got this is simply moving 1, 2. That is 2, and we move back. 1.03 raised to power 2. Is it raised to power? Yes, raised to power 2. So we look at 1.02 raised to power 3 is 1.03 times 1.03. So if we look at that, 1.03 times 1.03. 1.03 times 1.03. So it gives us 200 times 1.0609. So this will multiply it by 200. That is why I said they will allow you to use calculator in some of these your questions. So 200, okay. All right, so it will give us 212.180. So 202,180 kobo. All right, so that will be the compound interest that this young man will have to pay after 2 years. And we have our correct option as option E, 202.180. Is that point? No. 202,180. Sorry. 180. Okay, so that is what this young man will pay, which is option E. All right? All right, let's move to the next one. 202,180 naira, please. All right, so let's go to 23. 23 says, if 6 packets of cream cost 450 naira, find the cost of 3 packets. So they say 6 packets, 6 packs equals to 4 what? 450. So 3 packs will cost what? Okay, so let's see, 6 packs is 450. How much is 1 pack? If we know how much 1 pack is, it's just to multiply it by 3. We can use it to multiply it to know how many packs and what the cost of, even if it's 50 packs, will give us. All right, so if 6 packs is 450, to get 1 pack, don't forget this, will be 450 divided by 6 to give us 1 pack. Do you get the point now? Divided by 6. But the thing is that 450 divided by 6, the answer we get here will now multiply it by 3. Do you get the point? We'll now multiply it by 3. Do you get the point now? Okay, so this is over 1. 3 here is 1, 3 here is 2. Is that correct? So we have 450 divided by 2. Okay? Let me not confuse you, please. Let's get what what's 1 pack will be. Is that okay now? So this is 6. Let's get one pack will be. Is that okay? So let's go. 3 here is 2. All right. 3 into 45 is 15. So this is 150, right? So this would mean 150 over 2. 2 here is 1. 2 into 150 should give us 75. All right. So 1 pack is 75. Do you understand me now? 1 pack is 75. Do you get the point? So it means that 3 packs will give us 75 times 3. 75 times 3. Do you get the point now? Which 75 times 3 will give us 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 5 is 15. So write down 5, carry 1. 3 times 7 is 21 plus 1, 22. So 225. So 3 packs will give us 225 naira. So we'll buy 3.5 with the sum of 225 naira. Option C is the correct option there. All right. So let's go to the next one. 24. Find the amount of energy in units used by a customer if his present and previous meter readings are 85,402 units and 74,012 units respectively. Now, listen to the question. It's very simple, very straight to the point. This question is just a subtraction question, nothing more. They just want you to subtract, but you must understand what you're subtracting. So they say we should find the amount of energy used, okay, by a customer. So this person uses a prepaid meter, okay, and the energy that is reading, if his present energy, that is the present reading, is 85, and the previous, okay, the previous was 74. So this guy, the previous energy was like 74, and he used this energy till it is now reading 85. So what is the amount of energy he has used? Is to subtract the previous one from the current one. Simple. So we're just going to do 85,402. 85,402, all right, minus what? 74,012. Simple. That is just what to do there. All right. 2 minus 2, 0. 0 minus 1, you have to take 1 here. This becomes 3, right? So we put here is now 10. 10 minus 1 is 9. All right. This is 3. 3 minus 0 is 3. Okay. 5 minus 4 is 1. 8 minus 7 is 1. So we have 11,390 units. They say in units. 11,390 units. So we have it option B. Let's move to the next one. Now this says, it's getting more interesting, right? Okay, we are getting closer to some questions that you need to really think very well before you can give the answers. So this is number what? 25. All right, so we have this diagram. And we have here as 143 degree, and we have here as y degree. So the question is, what is the value of y? Very simple. These are two angles on a straight line. Go back again to this channel, just go down to Basic Mathematics. You will see a playlist for mathematics, okay? You will see angles, angle theories. We did all these things. Sum of angles on a straight line is 180. It means that 143 degree plus y is equaling 180 degrees. That is what sum of angles on a straight line. If this was to be a theory question, you must write the reason. Put a bracket, sum of angles on a straight line. That is how it's done, okay? So what do we do? Collect like terms. So y is equal to 180 degrees minus 143 degrees. 180 minus 143, okay? Like I said, you will use calculator. If you can, the essence of using calculator for you is so that you don't waste so much time trying to do this solving. But for your benefit, 180, 143, 0 minus 3 can go, take 1 here, this becomes 7, this now becomes 10, 10 minus 3 is 7, 7 now minus 4 is 3, 1 minus 1 is 0. So y is equal to 37 degrees. That is the correct answer. So the correct one there is option B. So so option B is the correct one, right? So let's go to 26. So the area of a rhombus is 48 centimeters square. If one of its diagonals is 8 cm, find the length of the other diagonal. All right. We also go to we have a class also in this topic, okay? Perimeter and area of plane shapes. We did a whole lot about rhombus and all that, okay? All right, so 26. 26, we have rhombus. The area of a rhombus area is equal to 1/2 the first diagonal multiplied by the second diagonal, all right? That is the formula, right? Okay, so all right, so the area there is given as 48. So 48, this is the area. 48 is equal to 1/2 times the first diagonal. Sorry, this first diagonal, there is diagonal 1. That is a mistake. Okay, so the first diagonal is 8 cm. So times 8 times the second diagonal is what? Is not given. That is what they're asking us to find, right? So let's do this. So 2 can remove this. So we have 4 here, right? So this is 48 is equal to 1 times 4 times this diagonal 2, right? So it means that 48 is equals to 4d. That is 4, the second diagonal. Don't forget that. All right. So this 4d is equals to 48. I just interchanged, okay? So divide both sides by 4. Divide both sides by 4. So this cancel this. The second diagonal will now be equals to 48 divided by 4. 4 into itself is 1. 4 into 48. 4 into 4 is 1. 4 into 8 is 2. So it's equals to 2 cm. So the second diagonal is 12 cm. So it's option D is the correct one, okay? So let's go to 27. How many edges does a cube have? How many edges? I think we did properties of plane shapes, properties of solid shapes also, okay? So just check through the channel, you will see that. All right, so let's look at the cube. I won't do you good if I just tell you the number of edges that a plane of a cube, all right? It will not do you good. It will be good I explain to you why it is the number that I will mention to you now. So for us to know the edges, okay, we'll have to draw a cube. That is, if you have forgotten, it's possible you probably forgot, but just draw a cube, you should know the number of edges. So 27. So if this is our cube, Remember, cube is our square in three-dimensional, right? Is a brother to square, no, to rectangle rather. Is it cuboid or cube? Oh, cube. Cube is a brother to square, just like your cube of sugar. So we have a cube, all sides must be equal. All sides must be equal. So these, we have this, we have this, we have this. So this is a cube, right? So they're asking how many edges. Edges is simply the sides, or this side. How many are they in a cube? It is 12. But we are going to count it to see if it is up to 12. So this is the first edge, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all right? So we have here 7th, here 8th, here, see this one, that is at the back, 9. Can you see that now? See this one here. We have 10. See this one? We have 11. Then the last one, this one here, we have 12. So we have 12 edges. Make a cube, 28. So that is how we got that. So the next one is, so the answer is A, 12 edges. The next one is, how many vertices does a rectangular pyramid have? It is a solid shape also, okay, three-dimensional. All right, so we have a rectangular pyramid. Rectangular pyramid. So a rectangular pyramid is a rectangle that has a very tall cliff, okay? All right, so what we do, okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 5 vertices. Vertices is just where 2 lines meet together, all right? So we have about 5 of them, which is option number B, all right? So the vertex is just this point where this line meets, this point where these 2 and this one meet, then where these ones meet, this is a vertex, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 4, then 5. Then this point 2 is a vertex, this is also a vertex, this is a vertex, and this is a vertex, all right? So we have 5 of them. All right, so the next one, which of the following gives the volume of a cylinder of height, h, and base, and the base radius of r, okay? Now talking about cylinder, I know you know for plane shapes, okay, we talk about area, while for solid shape, we talk about volume. The volume, we talk about volume because this one has a height, okay? It has a depth. Now, so what we have is that for a cylinder, the formula for calculating the volume is simply pi r square h. Remember, for formula for calculating this area of a circle is just pi r square. Now, the formula for calculating the area of a circle, the difference between the area of a circle and the area of a cylinder is because cylinder has a height. Do you understand the point now? So just the same attribute of a circle has a cylinder. The only difference is just that cylinder has a height. So if this is a circle, okay, the difference between circle and cylinder is that in cylinder, it comes with a height. Do you get the point now? It comes with a height. Do you get the point now? So that is why still the pi r square, but just multiply it by height, introduce a height there. Do you understand the point now? So the correct option is option A, pi r square h. That is the formula for calculating the volume of cylinder. All right? Now the next one is, if the bearing of A from B is 240 degrees, find the bearing of B from A. Find the bearing of B from A. Now let's look at that. So let's draw that bearing. And say if the bearing of A from B is 240. So this is our bearing. That is 30 now. North, west, east, south. Is that okay? Now, drawing the bearing of any particular angle or any particular object, we begin from the North Pole. All right? This coordinate that we have here is divided into 4 quadrants. The first, second, third, and fourth quadrant. And each of the quadrants, you must understand these things about bearing. Each of the quadrants, right? Each of these quadrants is 90 degrees. So this is 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree. If you add them together, it will give us 360 degrees. So this is 90 degrees plus 90. Here now is 180 degrees. This 270 degrees. This 360 degrees. Do you understand the point now? So the bearing we take our bearing in a clockwise direction. That is this direction. We don't go back, we go forward. Is that okay now? All right. So they say if the bearing of A, so this is our point A now. So if the bearing of A from B is 240, so they are saying 240, where will 240 be? It will definitely not be around 90. It will not be around 180. It will be around 270. So we are drawing this bearing from here to about this point. So let's assume this is our 240. This is our bearing what? 240 degrees. You see that now? They say the bearing of A from B. So let's look at what that will mean from B. Let's locate B. We are locating B here now, right? So if this is our point B, right? This is our point B, of course, north, east, west, and south, right? So what that will mean is that we want to know the bearing of B. This is our B. What is this our bearing of B from this A? This is our B. What is the bearing from A? Now, if this is 240, remember that here we have what? 270 in this quadrant. So it will mean that 270 minus 240. It means what will be left here is 30 degrees. So it means that this small place now left is 30 degrees, because 30 plus 240 will give us 270, which is what this particular quadrant, what the value is, right? So now, if that is true, it will now mean that if you have taken the class with us on angle theorems, if this is 30, alternate angles, we say, are what? Equal. This 30 is alternate to this. It means here will also be what? 30 degrees. So it will mean that, remember I said that each of these quadrants is 90 degrees each. Do you understand the point now? And bearing must be in a clockwise position. We are looking for bearing of B from this A. This is A. This is the coordinate of A coming to this B now. So what is the bearing of this B? The bearing should always start from the North Pole, which is from here to here. So this is the bearing they're asking us for. So what is this? What is this angle? What is the value of this angle? It is very simple, right? Very, very simple. If this place is 90, we say the whole of each quadrant, like all here is 90, here 90, 90, 90. All right? If we add 90 plus 90, this is 180, 270, just like that. It means that here, to know what is this, since it is 90, 90 minus 30, 90 minus this 30 gives us what? 60 degrees. So it means that the bearing from B, the bearing of B from A is nothing but 60 degrees. So option D is the correct answer. All right? So let's move to the next one now. So they say, what is the three-figure bearing of 45 degrees southwest? All right, let's look at that, 31. Let's look at this. All right, these are not, it's important you put this your coordinate positions. This east, This is west and this is south. Please, it is important you know where each of these things, because some people mistakenly put this east this way. All right? Okay? Some people mistakenly put east here and west here. West is at the left-hand side, east is at the right-hand side. But the way it will be very simple for you to know where it is anyone that you put, if it does not spell the word we, then know that you are not right. Okay? It should not spell the word you. It should spell the word we, right? Okay, so once you put it like this, then you have gotten the first step to what you want to do. Now they're asking, what is the three-figure bearing of 45 degree southwest? Your attention should be on the position or the direction of that bearing. They say southwest. It means that this bearing is around this quadrant. This is southwest. This is southeast. This is northeast. This is northwest. You get the point now. So if they had said northwest, we would have come to do it here. If they say northeast, we will do it here. If they say southeast, we will do it here. For this one, they say southwest, according to the question. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to take a bearing. Are you listening to me? We are going to take a bearing. Bearing must start from here. They said yes, 45 degree southwest, but then we are going to take our stuff here. Do you understand the point now? Now this is the trick now. The trick is, if we have the bearing coming from here, this is 90, this is 180, okay? Now, 180 plus 45. 180 plus 45, because they say in this southeast, it is only 45 that is taken. Remember here is 19, right? So it means that we only take out half of, sorry, this is 90. So we are only taking 45 out of 90. So here, this is the bearing they're talking about. It means that here is 45. So that is what they're asking also, right? But then 45 is not a three-figure bearing, it's a two-figure bearing. So to get a three-figure bearing of this is this 45 plus this 90 and this other 90. So 45 plus from here down to this place is what? 180. So this will be 45 plus 180. This is degree, this is degree. All right? If we do that, it will give us something around 225 or so. 180 plus 20, that is 200 plus 25, that is 225. So that is 225 degrees. So that is the three-figure. Three-figure in the sense that it has three figures on it. All right? Okay, so 225 is option B. All right. If you don't understand this, you may ask question in the comment section or go back to my explanation. If you ask question, I should respond to you. All right? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Which of the following angles can be bisected to get angle 22.5? Which of the following angles can be bisected to get angle 22.5? The answer is simple, is angle 45. All right? Bisection means to be divided into two. All right? It is only angle 45 that you can divide into two. That is 32, right? This is our, when you use a compass and whatever, so, okay? So you make angle 90, right? You do your semicircle, then from here, you just make an arc. Here, you make an arc, you bring it down. Sorry, let me get something central. So you bring it down, you have gotten angle 90, right? This is your angle 90. To get 45 is from there, here, you put something here, put something, get a radius of your choice, all right? This is 45. So here now is 45 degrees. So they're asking, how do we get 22.5? 45 divided by 2 is 22.5, so 22.5. So if we want to divide this now, take a radius of your choice, you cut, that same radius, you cut, then you bring it down. So you get, each of these now is 22.5 degrees. 22.5 degrees. So it is angle 45 that we can bisect to get 22.5 degrees. Okay? So that is option C, the correct option there. 33. if one side of a square is 0.5 meter, find the perimeter of the square. Perimeter of a square is just the number of sides, add it in 4 places or times 4. Is that okay? All right, so they say if one side is 0.5 and 0.5 you know now is half, right? Is 1 over 2. 0.5 is half, that is 1 over 2. I will prove to you why I said 0.5 is 1 over 2. So that is 33, right? So they say if one side of a square, remember square has each side equal. All the side of a square is equal. A square has 4 sides, and the 4 sides they are equal, right? Good. So they say if one of the side is 1.5, is 0.5. This is a square, for instance. As you can see, all the sides of this square. So you say if here is 0.5, it means here will be 0.5, here will be 0.5, here will be 0.5, because all the sides of a square, all the sides, they are all equal. Is that okay now? So if this is 0.5, it means to get this is to get the perimeter of a square is equals to 4 times the sides, the number of sides. So this will mean 4 times 0.5, okay? You know what 0.5 is? 0.5 is 1 over 2. How? If we move this one here, right? I said the number of times it moves will depend on the number of 0 you add to 1. So this means 4 times 5 over 10, right? That is what it means, right? 5 here is 1, 5 here is 2. So that is why I said it's 4 times 1 over 2. So 0.5 is the same thing as 1 over 2. Is that okay now? So this will now mean 4, because 4 times 1 is 4, divided by 2, it will now be equal to 4 over 2 is 2. So the perimeter of a square whose sides are 0.5, the perimeter is 2. So 2 meters is the correct option. All right? Okay. So find the volume of a cuboid whose length, breadth, and height are 4 cm, 5 cm, and 6 cm respectively. All right? Find the volume of a cuboid. It's very simple and straight to the point. Volume of a cuboid is equals to length times breadth times height. That's what it is. Length times breadth times height. Cuboid is a solid shape, is a 3-dimensional shape. That is why we're having 3 sides of it multiplying itself, okay? So it's simple. They've given us our length to be 4, breadth to be 5, height to be 6. Is that okay now? Just like I told you, these things in exam hall, don't waste your time to try to solve this arithmetic. Just if you have a calculator, punch it, okay? So 4 times 5, you know 4 times 5 is 20. 20 times 6, I think that is 120. 120 cm cube. Is it given? So cm cube. Remember, is volume we are talking about. So we have 120 cm cube. All right. So 20, yes. 20 times 6, 120. All right. So 120 cm cube, that's option D. We'll go to 35. All right, look at these. We have this structure. It's better I draw it in a place where you can see very well. 35. All right, so 35, we have 2 perpendicular lines, 2 straight lines. We have this first one going this way, and we have another one going this way. So we have this as 110 degree, and we have this one also coming this way. This one is 50 degrees, while this one is Z. Please go, this is Z, please, this is Z. please, it's important you go back to some of these our classes and refresh refresh yourself on some of these things, okay? All right, so look at this. They are asking us of what the value of y, what the value of z is, right? Now see, do you know that the whole of 50 plus z is 110? The whole of 50 plus z, like the whole of this, all this place is the same thing as this. Do you know why? Vertically opposite angles are equal. These two angles are vertically opposite. Let's assume these two things are taken off. This z and 50, they are taken off. It means that this whole thing, they are vertically opposite 110 degree. So if we have, what that means is z plus 50, can you see, is equal to what? 110 degree. Why? I will put it there. Vertically opposite angles are what? Equal. Vertically opposite angles are equal. Is that okay? That's the first thing. So with that, it is now very easy for us to know what the value of z is. So we can just do this. Z will now be equal to 110 minus 50. I just took like terms. That is what I did there, right? So z will be equal to something around 50, right? Around 60. 110 minus 50 is 60, because 100 minus 50 is 50 plus this 10, 60. All right? So we have option B as the correct option, because if you add 60 plus 50, it will give us 110. So 60 is the correct answer, right? Okay, so let's look at these. I will have to draw that for you. 36. We have a parallel line. Once you see a line with an arrow like this, know that it's a parallel line. And parallel line can't just stand, a line can't just be alone. I say it's a parallel line. It must have a line that it is related to, that makes it parallel. So it is parallel to this line I will draw here. Can you see now? So this line, just like we are told in our primary school, parallel lines can never meet. This line can just run, just like your road, okay? You have this side of the road, this side of the road will keep going. Those two sides will never meet anywhere, okay? So let's see what we have there. We have something like this. Then we had something like this, right? Then we have something like this. And here we said we have 72 degrees. Here we have y. Then here, let's go here. We have all through here to be what? 147. 147. So the question is, we should find the value of y. All right? So this is a perpendicular, two parallel line rather. Now, the value of y here, I don't think you have any business here, because you will have to, for you to have any business here is to get the value of what we have here, then you do sum of angles on a straight line. What that will now mean is you will get the value of either this, before you can get the value of this, so that you go sum of angles in a triangle. But that is a very long process. Now look at this place. Just look at it very well. If you look at this place, you can begin to think of what possibly you can do to get the value of y from here. Now look at this angle. We have an angle here that is adjacent 147. Do you get the point now? So if we look, let's know what this angle will be. So let's assume that this angle and this angle are even some of angles on a straight line. So we do 180 minus 147. Okay, it will give us 180 minus 147. So it will give us 33 degrees. So 33 degrees. This thing, if it is a theory question, make sure you write sum of angles on a straight what? Line. Make sure you write something like that for them, but you know why. So it means that here is 33 degrees. Do you get the point? So if here is 33 degrees, it means that y is 33 degrees. You can tell the reason. Because this 33 is alternate to y. Remember, these two parallel lines, right? These are two parallel lines. So this line cuts the two parallel lines. It means that whatever you have here will be equal to what you have here. Okay? Alternate angles are equal. So you say, therefore, y is equals to 33 degrees. Y? Alternate what? Angles are equal. So y is 33 degrees. So we have option B as the correct option. So the sum of the interior angles of polygon of n side is 180. Find the value of n. Now that question is tricky. Look at it very well. The sum of the interior angles of a polygon of n side is 180 degrees. It says you find the value of n. Now, the formula or the thing is sum of the interior angle of a polygon is n minus 1, all right, times 180. Okay, that is what gives us that sum. N minus 1 times 180. So, sum of interior angles of a polygon, okay, is 180. So the formula for that is n minus 1. Is that okay now? N minus 1 times 180 degrees. Do you get that now? Now they're asking that the sum of these interior angles, the sum of this interior angle is equal to 180. Do you get the point now? So that it is, sorry, m minus 2 rather, is equal to 180. So if we have the sum of the interior angles as, this is the formula, right? This is the formula for the sum of the interior angles of a polygon. And they say it's 180. So they say this thing is 180. They say this is 180. So you ask yourself, so if this formula, what should be the value of n that will make this thing to be 180? It means that what we have in this bracket must be 1 to be multiplied to 180 to be 180. Do you understand the point now? Okay? So what it means will now be that n minus 2, n will now be equal to 3. That is just what we are saying. Because n being 3 minus 2, okay, times 180 is what can give us 180. Why? 3 minus 2 is 1 times 180 equals to 180 degrees. So that is why we say that therefore n is equal to what? 3. So n must be 3 for the sum of these angles to be 180. N must be 3. So the correct option there is option C. Okay? All right, so let's move to the next one. Okay, now the next one is 38. It says determine the number of sides of a regular polygon whose interior angles are 90 degrees each. Okay, so 38. So remember, we are looking for the number of sides of a regular polygon whose interior angles is equal to 90 degrees. Do you understand me now? Is equal to 90 degrees. So this is n minus 2 times 180. Remember, they said the number of side is 90, okay? Determine the number of side of a regular polygon whose interior angles are 90. So we have to divide this thing by the number of sides so that we can get 90 degrees. That is what it means. Is that okay now? So that being done, remember what they're asking us to find is the number of what side, which is this n. So we have 180 times this is 180n minus 180 times 2, I think it's 360, all right, degrees, all right, is equal to, is equal to n, which is equal to 90. So cross multiply, all right, we have 180n minus 360 degrees is equal to 90n, okay? We can take like terms, so this will be 180 and this comes here to be minus 90 and this go here, okay, to be equal to 360 degrees. Is that okay now? So 180n minus 90n is 90n, because 180 minus 90 is equal to 90. Is equal to 360 degrees. Is that okay now? All right, so what do? We have to remove 90 from n so that n will be alone. So divide both sides by the coefficient of n. So this will be over 90 and over what? 90. So 90 n will now be equals to 360. Okay, let's just do the stuff there. This here is off. Okay, so 9 into 36, then that is about 4. All right, so n is equals to 4, which is option B. All right, hope you know. 9 into 36, 9 into 2 is 18, 18 plus 18 is 36. All right, so that is 4 there. Okay, so let's move to the next one. They say a goat is tied to a peg on the ground with a rope of 7 meters long. All right, so they say find the maximum area of grass the goat can graze on. All right, so that is a question on the area of a circle, area of a circle. All right, but I will draw something so that your understanding will be very clear. This kind of question, I think you should expect it in 2024, this year or in your next exam or so. Expect this kind of question. So let me draw what they are saying there. They say a goat is tied to a peg. So this is the peg. Let's say this is a peg here. And a goat is tied. Let's say the goat is here. This is a goat here now. Just follow me. And anyhow you see this goat, take it like that. So this is our goat. This is our goat. This is the tail of the goat and all that. You get? So this goat is tied to this peg. So this is the rope that the goat is being tied to. So they say that this rope, the distance is 7 centimeters. That's what they are saying, 7 meters rather, 7 meters. So it means that this goat has a grazing area of from here to this point, and this goat, because of that rope, the goat can move about now. So this goat can only move a distance of something like this, such that everywhere here is 7 cm, here 7 meter, everything 7, anywhere the goat cannot extend the length of that rope, right? And the rope is 7 meters. So the goat can only graze this entire area. So now the question is, what is the area of this area, or this area of grazing site that the goat can graze? That's what they're asking. So it's simply area of circle. They just want to confuse you. All right? So what is the area of circle? Area of circle is equals to pi r squared. Simple, right? So they've given us pi to be 22/7 times the radius given is 7 times 7. All right, so this 7, we have 22 times 7 will give us 154 meter square. All right, 154 meter square. I think that is it 154? Yes, 154 meter square. 22 times 7 is equals to 154 meter square. So the correct option there is option A, 154 meter square. All right, let's look at the next one. Now, the figure below is a sports field, all right? Sports field, right? And you can see it on the board, okay? So that is a sports field with a semicircular area at each end. So you can see this end here. This is a semicircle, right? Then this other end is a semicircle here. Now, they say find the area of the entire field, meaning the area where you have something like a rectangle and the area where you have like a semicircle. All the area, find it. Correct to 1 decimal place, all right? Okay, so look at what we have there now. To find the area of this entire field is the area of the rectangle plus the area of the semicircle. Do you understand the point now? Now, we have two semicircles, right? The first semicircle is this way, the other one is this way. It has with a semicircle each at each end. So what it will mean is area will be equal to area of rectangle, okay, plus 2 times area of a semicircle. Do you understand the point now? Area of a semicircle is, we have the first area here and this first area here. So what we have there is, just let me just confuse, that is area of semicircle, allow me to put that S circle there, plus another area of semicircle. Is that okay now? So this will mean, now area of rectangle, the height, the length and breadth is given there. So this is 7 times 9. Is that okay? All right. So area of the first semicircle, which is this side, you get the point now, is 7. Okay, is we'll get what to have there. The area first of all here is, or let's even start by putting all the formulas. All right. So this is length times breadth, then plus pi r square all over 2 plus another pi r square all over 2. Do you understand the point now? But the thing is, our radius should be 3.5 because what was given to us here is diameter, right? So remember, radius is diameter divided by 2, right? So what it means is that our radius, first of all, we must know that r is equals to 7 over 2, which is 3.5. Is that okay? So what that means, therefore, our area will now be equals to length times breadth of the rectangle is 7 times 9, right? Plus 22 over 7 times, what is it called? 3.5 square, okay? All divided by 2, all right? Then plus 22 over 7 times 3.5 over 2, raised to power 2, all divided by what? 2. Because it is a semicircle. Why we are doing over 2 is because it is a semicircle, half circle, half a circle. Do you understand the point? All right, so now let's go with this now. If we go with this, 7 times 9 will give us 63, all right? Plus, now, 3.5 times 2, 3.5 times 2 will give us 7. No, 3.5 times 3.5. 3.5 times 3.5 will give us about 49 over 4. But we are going to just put this thing in decimal numbers. So let me get this. 3.5 times 3.5. 3.5 times 3.5. That is 12.25. So this means 22 times 12.25 divided by 7 divided by 2. Then here is still the same thing. 22 times 12.25 divided by 7 divided by 2. Is that okay now? All right, so if we have that, then we are arriving at something, okay? So this 22 times 12.25, okay? So times 22 will give us 269.5. So this will now be equals to 269.5 over 7 over 2 plus 269.5 over 7 over 2. Is that okay now? All right, so once that is done, the next thing we'll have to do now is 63. Just follow me, please. 63 will now be plus 269.5 over 7 times 1 over 2, because this is 2 over 1, so 1 go up, 2 come down. All right, plus 269.5 over 7 times 1 over 2. Is that okay now? Okay, so this is 269 over 14. All right, so 63 plus 269 over 14. 269.5 divided by 14. How do I get that 14? 269.5 times 1 is 269.5. Then 7 times 2 is 14. So divided, okay? So it gives us 19.25. So this is 19.25 plus this will also be 19.25. Is that okay now? So we're going to add everything. 19.25 plus 19.25 plus 63 to give us 101.5. So everything here gives us 101.5. Area is it in cm or meter square? Meter square. Answer. So 101.5, which is our option C, is the correct option there, right?